So there's a closing question, Honey Bun.
Closing question. I don't have a closing question. I'm gonna come up with one though. Go ahead.
So
Closing question, like intro tune or whatever.
yeah, the closing question is, what feeling do you have the most difficulty expressing in a relationship?
Ooh. What feeling do you have the most difficulty? Excuse me. Damn. Expressing in a relationship. Well, I would say I don't. It would be the feelings that make you the most vulnerable. I think.
Oh yeah.
Anything that's going to make you vulnerable, to put you out there, are probably for me the most difficult for me to express. So, um, like saying something, I don't know. I can't think of an example right now, but
Right
I
now.
do know that saying something that's going to make you vulnerable are typically the things that are the hardest to express. Like, but because I'll express anything, but those things that are deep and personal to you, that can expose you and to put you out there, that if not handled, if I share this with you and you mishandle this information I'm giving you, it could really hurt my feelings. It could really hurt my
Absolutely.
ego. Those are probably the things that I would be the most. And I'll think of one while you give me your answer.
I mean, I think that is 100% true. Like the things that you're most vulnerable with, and I think for me, it would probably be the feeling that I most have most. Okay, in a relationship, I would probably say like if I like financially I just like needed something or wanted something. I think for me, it's hard for me to like in a relationship like ask a man for something. That for me is just kind of like, yeah, it probably won't.
Babe, you had no problem asking me for something. I'm not gonna say what it was and what it was
No,
for, but
but so I'm just saying like that was my answer. You asked me a question, but I told you about that like early on. That was something that I told you because you asked me what did I want earlier. Something you asked was like, what do you want? And I was like, I'm not really good at that. And so you was like, well, how do you want to get what you want if you don't ask? Like that was your question to me. And I was just kind of like, yeah, well, I guess you might be right, but I'm just really not good with
so what
that.
if I said no and I didn't give it to you?
I'd be like, all right. Like, but for me, that it probably won't happen again because I probably like, now you the one told me
Right.
to ask you or
Yeah.
whatever. And now when I
Yeah.
really took a step and did it, you said no, I would have been like, all right. But in my mind, like, he ain't ever got to worry
Yeah.
about me
Yeah.
asking him, for anything. And I think that made, now I can't, because there are some women that literally come off the bat just like, shoot, whatever. But
Yes, there's a lot of women who will do that.
yeah, but that for me, because I think sometimes, I don't know, I feel like that is something that I've heard men in relationships say, like, you can like ask me or whatever, you can,
Yeah,
whatever.
let me. I don't want to guess what you want. Let me know
Yeah,
what you
like
want.
you
Yeah.
can, whatever.
Because then later on, it's gonna be like, you never do that. Well, you didn't ask me for nothing.
Yeah, so I can see that, but I am like that's something for another episode when we'll get into like different things about that.
Yeah.
But for like some women, it's like, okay, if I ask a man for this, then it has an attachment to it. Now you feel like entitled to, or something like that. So for me, if I ever ask a man for something, there has to be a certain level of trust there. There's a certain level of like a point in emotional like connection there that we have covered bases of, growth together. But I'm not just one of those women just gonna be like, I want my nails done next week. Can you get me like that is just not me, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I can do for myself, and I never want to feel like I owe you something because you did this or whatever. So that is for me something that I would have problems expressing, like the need or the desire or the want for something, because if I don't feel like I know you're doing it because you genuinely want to do it, or there's an expectation that is tied to it, then I'm probably not going to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I still haven't thought of anything, so I don't know anything that I'd be scared to tell. I'm pretty open. You think? I mean, I kind of speak my mind most of the time. Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
If ever I think of something,
you'll share it on the next. Right. Absolutely. But yeah, that